for the town of Lake Pleasant and also hopefully the village. We had an issue yesterday. We put a dumpster out on Sundays at the town hall at 9 in the morning for the part-time residents that have to leave on Sundays so they can bring their garbage and put it in the dumpster. It's a barefoot dumpster. Yesterday we had an issue where we had all kinds of full-time residents bringing the garbage there. It was town residents, it was village residents, and I'm sure you're having the same issues with your situation. So I'm just kind of hoping that maybe we could educate the public and let them know why it's there. We had a bear get into it. It was stacked way up on top this morning when our first employee got in. The bear got into it. When he came, the bear took off, so that gosh didn't make that bad of a mess. But I'm sure you guys agree with your village highway department as well as town that this isn't their job. We don't want them to be picking up other people's garbage. So I'm hoping that we can educate the public that they please put your garbage out on your normal pickup day. The transfer station is open on Saturdays. Take it to the transfer station, but please don't litter the streets. Please don't fill your cans in the village. Don't fill up that dumpster there. We are going to give it another week. We're going to try it one more time. If it continues, then we're going to pull the dumpster. We don't really want to do that, right? Because it's a good thing to have for the part-time residents.
And what are your pickup hours or pickup days during the summer?
Mondays and Thursdays, same as recyclables are Wednesday.
Yep.
And again, one of our big problems, and we know this is an issue, and I'm not saying all, but we know of a few Airbnbs that are telling people that they can bring it to the town hall. And I just feel, we all feel that Airbnbs are a business,
Yes.
that it should be up to the owner of the Airbnbs to make arrangements to have the garbage put out on garbage day, whether it's village or town, and it will be picked up and taken to the transfer station or make other arrangements with someone else if they're not here.
Do you know if there's a list of Airbnbs?
Honestly,
There's not a place you can go and easily, so I would
I
suggest
do
send a
know-
note or.
Well, I do know that the county is putting together a list, the county tourism, so you could probably talk to Christy Wilk. And maybe this is something that the village and the town should work together on, put a letter together from all of us. So that, just to educate people so that they understand. This is a privilege to have the garbage picked out for both. And I just think that if they continue, we're gonna lose this. So we just don't wanna see it happen. So I just wanted to comment, I just kind of knew you guys didn't know, and I know you feel the same way on the village end as well as the town.
Yep, it's a health hazard and it's a danger and it's being selfish.
Absolutely, and that's not what our highway guys are for.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry for you to be the bearer of.
No, I didn't want to do that anyway, I keep saying I'm going to, and I said, you know what, I'm going to. So,
Well, thank you.
that's it. Thank you.
Good. Okay, Shorty, did you have something?
At one time, we used to put 2 dumpsters out.
You know, I don't think there's ever gonna be enough dumpsters.
We did because at one time, the military of the Eagles highway super, we put them on it, and something was said about the everyday people use, and you can't discriminate against your everyday taxpayer and your part-time.
No, it's an exception. It's an exception rather than the rule, and that's what it should be.
Most of them abide by it. They put the garbage in front of the house, but we do have a ton of them now who use it.
Yeah, and truly, we have camera system, and we watched it today, and it's absolutely amazing how many local full-time residents from the town and the village were using it, so that's why I said
It's nice that there is a camera.
Maybe they don't know.
maybe they don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they are really adjusted now to the dumpster this week for this Sunday.
Good telling you that those coming from the Seco campsite and everything on the road.
Yeah.
It's literally.
Is there gonna be any signage on the dumpster itself about camera and who's supposed to be putting it there, or you're suggesting to the paper?
Well,
How is this communication supposed to happen?
I was kind of hoping between maybe the village and the town, if we got it on our websites and our Facebook pages, and we just got the word out there. I was kind of hoping that we could do it that way, if you guys are willing, and we'll look out for both of us. I'll get that taken care of tomorrow on town level, and you folks with village level, and hopefully we can, I really think it's just a matter of education. People don't know, they see it there and assume anybody can use it, that's not intentional.
Right. Okay, so hearing no further public comment, we'll bring that to a close. I would like to have a motion to open the public hearing for adopting Hamilton County Law Number 1 of 1976. Mark and Cindy second. So now the public hearing is open for the adoption of local law number 1, 1976, safeguard all the waters of the village of Speculator, Hamilton, County of Hamilton from pollution and providing penalties for violation thereof. So there was a law passed in 1976 by Hamilton County by that name. What we are seeking a resolution for that was introduced on December 14th, 2020 is an adoption of that law with minor modifications that make it specific to Speculator. So within that, the definitions have been expanded to make it more clear based on questions that had arisen from the original law. The legal effect, where this law shall supersede all local ordinances and may be modified by the village of Speculator at any time. It allows for the village to have an administrative appointee for this, whereas it was the county before. Now it allows us to have an appointee. And then things are pretty much the same, just adding in the village of Speculator along with the county of Hamilton in that law itself. So are there any comments or questions from the public? Okay. Hearing none, I would like to have a motion to close the public hearing. Cindy, Rebecca, thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. Public hearing is closed. I would like a motion to accept the resolution to adopt Hamilton County Local Law Number 1 of 1976 with the clarification specific to Speculator. Mark, second. Okay, Cindy, any comments, questions, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion carries to adopt local law number 1 of 1976 as local law number 1 of 2021 for the village of Speculator. Thank you. Ed, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
You might have to yell. I don't know how much you want over that. You're going to be moved, so hang on for just a second.
I'm back. I don't think anybody else is on watching, so.
Okay, Ed, hit it.
All right, I'll start with the water department. Our second round of PFOAs came back negative, and our beach samples were negative, hence the reason the beach is open. As for operations, camp meters have been read and are all in working order. We will change out the old meters in the fall after the busy season to avoid any interruptions. The plan is to put all new meters in camp to start next year. The water system is continuing to operate with only one pump. At this time, the holdup is delivery of parts. Right now, we are just waiting on the new surge relief valve, which prevents water hammer in the system. That's supposed to be delivered on the 16th.
How long will it take to install, Ed?
Probably a day. Did you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so probably a day, and then the soft start will probably take a day as well. They've left less than a day. Hopefully, the soft start will be in prior to that stuff, so once that's done, it should be in operation. Just right now, everything's very difficult to get parts and stuff. I'm still waiting on parts for the hydrant by the Village Motel. We did dig that up and we examined it and we ordered everything we needed to make that repair. We continue to check chlorine and phosphate throughout the system. The new CL2 system is working very well compared to the old system, which was constantly needing to be fixed and repaired and monitored. It's just a much better system, and I'm appreciative we could do that. The tank site road and the well building both have been raked, but with the continuous rains, they probably can be done again. We do need some material brought up to the tank site road when we have some time. Hopefully we can get that done sooner rather than later. I am recertified with my water license until 2024. And then, as I said, we have to repair that hydrant at the Village Motel. I'd like to paint the fire hydrants this year. I just don't know if we'll get to it because of the rain. Repair pump number 2, and then we need to install that meter pit at the pavilion to separate it from the firehouse.
How difficult will that be to do?
What's that?
How difficult will it be to install a meter pit?
Not that difficult. I just have to have a day with the backhoe. It probably actually will only take half a day to do it.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be too difficult to do that. That's pretty much it for water. For the wastewater, our speedies and DMRs have been completed. Our annual study required by DEC has been completed. I'm in the process now of doing the reporting part for that. I just have to put all the data in the Excel file and do a small write-up, an explanation, send it to DEC, and then they'll make a determination on whether or not we need to do a copper removal. From what I can tell, I think we're going to be fine and be able to continue running the plant the way it is.
Thanks.
The outside plant's in operation since the end of June. Everything's in working order. We'll continue to watch our flows daily and then just determine the best time to take it back offline and winterize it. It's normally only on for a month or two during the year. So once that's done, we'll just go back to our inside plant running. We had two problems this month. The first of which was the alarm going off at the pavilion on Saturday the 18th. The issue could not be resolved on the weekend, so the bathroom was locked and the grinder pump was turned off. Once we dug into it on Monday, we realized the Fernco had slipped off, so we reinstalled that and everything is back to normal. On July 3rd, I was at the firehouse helping out, and I was told of a toilet that was backed up and found that the other toilets were backed up and the manhole next to the firehouse was full of water. I went to the next manhole down and found that, this is across from King of Frosty's, I found that there was about 15 gallons of rags that had backed up the main. After I had poked around a little bit, it began running again. And honestly, the only way to fix this problem is to install hand dryers in the bathrooms, and paper towels should be removed so the public does not flush them down the toilet.
So I just wanted to interject here. Those hand dryers have been ordered.
No, they're here.
Oh, they're here.
Yeah, Gary was here, he's coming up with a quote.
Okay.
And then we have to decide if we're gonna need another quote, based on the procurement rules.
Yes.
So, everything is ready, he's just waiting for the quote.
Okay,
All these
so we'll
things.
get a second quote.
Those bathrooms have been open for 2 years, 3 years,
Yes.
and it took this long for it to plug up. It was pretty bad.
So, Ed, do you think that was someone cramming down paper towels over the weekend? I mean, this wasn't a build-up over time.
Well, it was a build-up in the line over time, but basically what had happened is, somebody can't be at the bathroom 24/7. You run out of toilet paper, somebody grabs some paper towel, and they flush it. And over time, that builds up in that line, that 8-inch pipe, Actually, it built up in the manhole and then just slowly backed up until it plugged the pipe off. Luckily, I could get it with my sewer scoop, and we didn't have to call Adirondack Septic to flush that line.
I think the public needs to be aware of the potential for extreme damage by flushing things that are not toilet paper down the road.
While you have that mentioned, I would like to recommend that the public does not flush flushable wipes. They are not flushable, even though they say they are. They do not break down like toilet paper, and they plug up pumps and sewer lines. And your own laterals to your house. If you back your own lateral up to your house, then you're going to flood your basement if you have them. So.
Right, so any resident that clogs their own system up between the house and the septic connection, that's their responsibility. And so if you're flushing down wipes, flushing down paper towels, you're going to clog it and you're going to cost yourself.
I just want to reiterate, flushable wipes are not flushable, whether they say they are or not.
Mix it into our machine.
Yes.
Because it says flushable, we did not win that lawsuit.
Oh.
So just have fun.
All right. Okay, thanks, Ed. Continue?
Yes, the problems at Pump Station 2 seem to be resolved. Made a couple adjustments, and we haven't had any problems there since. The upgrade project, at this time, basically we're still waiting on Miller to finalize some MWBE paperwork. They have sent some in to Brendan, but Brendan said it's just not enough yet. And then we're also still awaiting EFC to approve the plans for the project. And Brendan's been on them and still has not got anything back from them.
So within the wastewater plan that we are waiting final EFC approval for, this includes the modification to build a little covered shelter between the two tanks, correct?
Yes, that is going to house the new blower that feeds the digester and the new sludge pump that feeds the digester and out back.
Good. So we are still on schedule to finish before the snow flies.
I think they had December I don't have that paperwork in front of me. Okay. They had a possible finalization in December. A lot of people said that they didn't think that was possible because they didn't even think the equipment would come in by then. Okay. Honestly, I have no idea. You know, that's the contractor. But the longer we wait, the farther back that deadline goes. So, if that was written in there as December, more than likely, I don't know. I've never worked with Miller, but if they need to, they'll probably ask for a extension or however that works.
Okay.
We'll just have to play it by ear. It really is all dependent on how fast EFC gets back to approve these plans in the MWBE paperwork.
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
And, just my to-do. We still have to fix Pump Station 5. We do have that under contract to be checked once a year. Actually, all the pump stations are to be checked under contract once a year. They have better equipment than we have to do so, and that includes changing the oil, making sure everything's running properly. So that'll all be fixed. And then we have sampled the land application site still, but with the rain, we have to mow it first. And we can't mow it because it's too wet right now. Once it's dried up a little, we'll be able to sample it, and then we'll apply our biosolids from last year. Hopefully by the end of August, beginning of September.
So Ed, there's one or two things I'd like to add. So the two projects under FEMA, since you're here, we are still waiting to hear back about the water main crossing. That's still under some review of historic value and geological importance. Right. And we are still waiting on the tilted pump station down behind the Speculator Inn. We still have not heard back on that on that matter as well. So those are the two outstanding FEMA projects that are water and wastewater related.
And I believe the only thing that was wrong with the pump station is that we had to put paperwork in again showing how much it would cost to repair it because they had some tiny number that wasn't even come close to fixing the problem.
Yes, and that was submitted, gosh, I think it's going on a month now, easy.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I think it's more than that, but
So Ed, the other request that I have for you, and it will probably involve speaking with some engineers, is to get a price to complete the water loop.
yes.
Do you have
Well,
a
we actually do have a roundabout number that was in the FEMA plans already. We'd have to go back and look at that. I believe it was somewhere around 250, maybe. I can't recall right now. It was a while ago that Brendan sent that in. The thing that what I would like to add to that completion is continuance towards Camp of the Woods, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just to increase the size of the loop system. But finishing what we have already is a big help, so.
Right, okay. All right, good. Any questions, comments for Ed?
Nope.
I will insert here, for lack of a better place, and since Ed is here, from our last meeting, you will recall that we put out an offer letter for 2 village maintainers, an HEO operator and a village maintainer. The village HEO operator did start on July 6th, right? That was Tuesday.
Village maintainer.
Village maintainer, right. So that was the backfilling of Wayne's position.
Yeah, we backfilled Wayne's, and then the village maintainer backfilled Lee's position.
Yes, but one of them left, and it was backfilled again.
Yes,
Correct.
Yeah.
So Joshua Moore started with that position. The second position was offered to Aaron Rulison. Due to a number of circumstances, we have rescinded that offer to Aaron, and we will be posting the job again. So we'll be doing it in Hamilton County Express, and then I've asked Crystal to explore the Leader Herald or another website where we can solicit more folks.
You can also go on the Rural Water website and the other one. I can't remember right now. I'll let you know tomorrow. But
Yeah, if you can let Crystal know, we will.
On those, you can post job postings on those websites, and we're already members, so I don't believe it would be a cost or anything.
Great. So if you can let Crystal know those 2 places so that we can get the word out, because we really do need to fill this position with a qualified person as soon as possible.
Okay, sounds good.
Good. So any questions, comments for Ed? You got your hands full. Maybe we should have a board hydrant painting party. But we'll figure out something, Ed. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Now we'll do the clerk treasurer's report.
Okay, hang on, let me just plug him back in.
She wanted me to say that AB is almost done. Just working on 2 edits, and then we'll be able to be submitted. She had a meeting with Brendan from BST about the needed materials for the audit, and we'll be gathering those this week. All quarterly reports for PERMA, IRS, New York State, and Compliance.
I don't think I'm supposed to read this part, this is just if you ask a question. As was informed at the last meeting, this last weekend, the beach was closed due to a staffing conflict with one of the lifeguards, colleges. She had to be somewhere from her college. The lifeguards will keep the beach open this Monday through Sunday to make up for those lost days. The office hours open to the public have been expanded and will be from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The clerk treasurer hours will remain from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Financial report number 1 is ready for review and just need to approve the abstract.
Yes. Okay, any comments or questions for the clerk? No? Okay. So, I'd like a motion to approve abstract number,
It's actually 3, I think she wrote 2 on it, I think it's 3.
abstract number 3. Mark, second?
Second.
Rebecca, second. Any comments, questions about the abstract? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Okay. Motion carries to pay the bills. COVID-19 update, as you heard, we've extended our hours back. The hours of the office will be from 8 a.m., so it's earlier than it was before, to 2 p.m., although someone will be in the office till about 4 o'clock every day. This is to give Crystal and Tracy some time to actually get a lot of the work done that they have to do that requires some uninterrupted time. So of course, if there's an emergency, it can be done with. The Halloween storm update, we're still waiting. The COVID update, nothing's changed. Cell towers, it's on hold until the fall. Hopefully when the parts will come in. The fire tower, you have 2 resolutions with you, and they're 2-sided copies. So one resolution is on one page, one resolution is on the other. So for the McComas fire tower, whereas the Village of Speculator received donations during the 2021 fiscal year for the McComas fire tower in the amount of $9,700, and these funds rolled into the fund balance at the end of fiscal year, we are resolving that the fund balance is increased in the amount of $9,700. Appropriated fund balance is fund balance is decreased by $9,700. Appropriated fund balance is increased by $9,700. And the expenditure budget code through which all of the McComas bills are going to be paid is A7140.4, A7140.4 for Parks and Recreation contractual. That's going to be increased by $9,700. So our first expenditure will be to pay the engineer for the foundation work, as we had discussed last month. May I have a motion to accept this resolution to adjust the budget for the McComas Fire Tower? Cindy, second. Jim? Any comments or questions? All in favor of resolution to adjust the budget for the McComas Fire Tower in the amount of $9,700, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries. LED streetlights. I still don't see them. So the microburst storm sent them back again. I put a word out to him at the end of last week. My friend Joe Blown, not heard back from him. One day I may have to go down to Albany and sit in the National Grid office. Marijuana regulation, we're still waiting, as you know, for the timing for when our elections are, because we need community vote on that. So, and I should note that the town voted to not accept the law for commercial distribution. At this point, Mark Doniker, we are looking for the septic system erosion regulations, looking at an addendum to the local law we just voted on to safeguard all waters in the Village of Speculator, County of Hamilton.
Yeah, that's complete, and we'll have to go to a public hearing.
Yes.
Well, so Tracy in for select copies, and then we just schedule a public hearing on that.
Okay, so I would like to make sure that not only are copies of the addendum available, I'd like to make sure that it's posted on our website as well,
And the resolution.
and the resolution as well. May I have a motion to schedule the public hearing for that? But I'll ask you, we can have it the 26th, or we can have it August 9th. Will everybody be here on the 26th, or is August 9th better? I think, in my personal opinion, I'd like to hold off until August 9th, because there's a lot of discussion in the area. Casico had some discussions, most of the board was for it, public hearing, and I'm not exactly sure of all the comments that went on there. They decided not to go forward with it. So I had a conversation with Rick Wilt today. I sent him our addendum, which is based on feedback from Soil and Water, from a fellow who does, Bob Fox, who does this for a living, looking at other local laws within the state of New York. So just to make sure that we have all of our bases covered. I also understand that Wells tonight is having a discussion on septic laws as well. So I'm glad that people are cognizant of our waters and how to preserve them. I think we just need to make sure that we do it in the most efficient and effective manner that we can, that is not so incredibly onerous on homeowners, but that we're working with them to make sure that we can do that properly. So, yes,
Question regarding the timing?
yes.
Was it 6 years or was it 8 years?
It's 8 years, based on all the comments I received. The inspections will be required every 8 years. People that are not on.
So it said 6 and 8, so we need to.
No, we changed it.
So,
Oh, it's 8, okay, sorry.
So it's going to
8 years, yeah, that's the inspection, the inspection report. If it needs to be done sooner, then we'll, make sure that the homeowner knows that. If not, it will be required 8 years, so we just extend that inspection process, which is around $400. About $400 depending on,
All right. So I would like a motion to schedule a public hearing on the addendum to local law number 1 of 2021 for August 9th. Second? Jim? Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. So we will have a public hearing on the addendum on August 9th. Okay, new business. The Can Store has put in a vending request via Casey Morrison again for kayaks and paddleboard rentals down in the boat launch. We gave him a one-off, and that seemed to have gone well. He was not in the way. There was adequate traffic flow and boat inspections. So he would like to extend it to July 18th and 25th, as well as the Sundays of August 1st, 8th, 15th, and 23rd. He did provide a response to Jim's question regarding safety. As you all know, if you were to launch a paddleboard from the boat ramp or the boat area, and you hang a right and go underneath the bridge, with the water so high, you can knock your head.
Yeah.
And there are locks and things under that. They are given instructions to carry it across and launch from the beach to have safety in that regard. So they really are giving them instructions and trying to mitigate that as best as possible. Again, they carry their own insurance, holding the village harmless in that regard. So I would like a motion to approve giving a vending license to Camp Store for kayaks and paddleboards for July 18th, 25th, August 1st, 8th, 15th, and 23rd. Have a motion to accept that. Cindy, second? Rebecca, any comments or questions?
Yeah, does he pay a $50 application fee for each date?
For each date, yes.
Is it each date to the village
$50. Yes. You're welcome.
What did you decide about the hot dog cart on those days?
That would be separate. He has not come back to the hot dog cart. But that would be an additional $50 because it's per vending cart or per vending menu. So he has not come back with that. So this is strictly for kayak and paddleboards. So all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries and we'll grant the license to Mr. Morris. Excuse me?
Anybody go see it?
Yes, down there, but they were fine.
Very neat, clean.
Was
I don't know how many had there, I didn't really talk to them, just to see how it was set up, and, so I can't tell you how many people were out. It's easier to have somebody else stop. Well, it wasn't Casey himself. It was
Right. So we did have the zoning officer update by Rick Rumsey today, that has been postponed. Number three on the agenda is another resolution for the July 4th Parade Committee. So as you will recall, we approved giving a donation to the Parade Committee of $700, and now this is where the money comes from. So this resolution indicates that the donation was not included in the approved 2021-2022 budget. So therefore, we have resolved the fund balance is proposed to be decreased in the amount of $700. The appropriated fund balance is increased by $700. And there's an increase to budget code A7550.4, celebrations contractual, by $700 to cover this. So may I have a motion to accept this resolution for the July 4th Parade Committee donation? Mark, second by Rebecca. It was close tie. Any comments? I would like to suggest that this gets added to the celebration line in 2022, 2023, so that it's going forward, right? So, any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution to adjust the budget for the 4th of July Parade Committee donation, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Now, my next favorite thing in all the world are the children at play signs. So I turn it over to Rebecca or Mark to set that up.
The New York MIR risk assessor for the village, this at the 628 meeting that the children at play signs, manual on uniform traffic control devices. Manual for streets and highway, understanding these federal advantages, nationwide to install and maintain traffic control devices on all public streets, highways, bikes, private roads, and public travel. It's not says not sanctioned children in play signs. Notice the using the warning signs, and that's exactly what it is. You can't go in there, disrespectful sign. New York State supplement guidance, children in play signs should be limited to the locations because of unusual conditions. Motorists might not expect children to play in the vicinity of the roadway. It was suggested to use that sign in a limited critical situation. Unfortunately, the children at play signs or an alternative does not show up in the international guidelines, but it remains in the New York State supplement. Big problem is under strict laws of the United States Constitution, federal law supersedes state law, so technically the sign should be taken down. I have spent hours looking for alternative language. I didn't find any that could be approved. So my recommendation at this point, the wall signs should be taken down. I know you have a few other things. Again, they're just warning signs. Put up any of these, go on slow or playground sign, there's really no playgrounds, the school is very well marked. There's 14 locations, most of them are on Anway Road, there's 6. Oak Mountain Drive, State Drive, Brooks Drive, Marion Avenue, Downey Avenue, before and after Tampa Woods intake, Shuttleworth Drive and Woodward Drive. So the question is that's something we want to do? Again, it's a liability issue, we could be sued. They're just warning signs, and then they're not put about.
What had been suggested was that, you can put "We Love Our Children" signs, or if people with children who tend to run around in the street or whatever, have their own signs to prevent motorists, but then that takes the liability away from the village. And then it decreases the over signage. So this had been raised in the past and it had not been addressed by the village. And I think in our current litigious state, I think it would be an appropriate thing to do. Unfortunately, yes. We are able to recycle this steel for other signs that would be required throughout the village, and actually that's quite costly. So we would have that on hand. So I did provide the playground, which is not appropriate because the school is well marked and the playground is so far off the road that would not be inappropriate. And the go on slow, I really don't know what that means.
There's another warning sign that doesn't mean it.
Exactly, and the speed on the road cited is 25 miles an hour anyway.
They expect the parents to ensure the children's safety and not the players. That's the, unless there's an engineering requirement of warning signs.
Well, then I would look for a motion to remove the children at play signs over the course of the next month, and inform the public through these meeting minutes that if they wish to put up something private on their own property, we would encourage them to do so. So may I have a motion to remove the signs? Mark, second. Jim, any discussion? All in favor of removing the children at play signs, say aye. Aye. All opposed? None carried. We will instruct Roger to remove the signs.
Do we want to wait till someone's over?
Yeah, we can do that within a month or so. Yeah, by end of summer.
I'll talk to Roger.
Okay. So by end of summer. Okay. Dig New York was something that we were made aware of as well, that there are certification requirements. I distributed to you the 2 sections in New York State consolidated laws regarding the duty of the local government as well as the duties of the operators. And so under the consolidated law, section 762 and 763, we are required as a village and any contractors that operate in the village to be certified with Dig New York prior to any excavation. In addition, we must display in an appropriate location and provide a notice to each applicant for an excavation and or demolition permit that informs them of their responsibilities under the law to protect underground facilities and the existence, operation, and programs of the one-call notification system. In my conversation with Bob Benkovich, our building permit officer, he said that obviously this is a much bigger deal when we are less rural, but given our rural locale, it's not as huge of a problem. But he does have cards, Dig New York, that he gives out to excavators. It's imperative when we're near the roadways for fiber optics and things like that, that they're aware of calling Dig New York. And then we actually need to have the DPW and wastewater treatment employees who are engaged in excavation, quote, anyone who uses a shovel, to take the training. So I went online and found that information is available online. I think it takes 3 hours. Yeah, which is a little long. There's an introduction, overview, and guidelines. There's a make your mark for safety and putting your knowledge to work. So that's the second one, and then there is an evaluation. And this is the final section where there's a quiz and things like that. So I'm sorry, the course is actually 4 hours. The class size is usually limited to 25 participants, and the cost is $25 per person. But the length of certification is 5 years with free renewal, which is a good
There's
thing.
no other interactive course, I guess it's just someone comes in, or is this an interactive?
It says it can be an online or in person.
So online would be the best, and then just giving it to guys
Each week, right. So if we do that over the next 8 weeks, we'll have everyone set. So we will inform Ed and Roger to schedule the guys accordingly, and
You can do it their offices,
or they can do it here, right? We can set up a computer to do that. Okay. So I don't know that I need a motion for that, but I'll take one anyway. So a motion to have them all certified within 8 weeks. All right. All in favor? All right. Sorry. Who, yeah. Okay. Mark is the first, second. Okay. Cindy, any comments, questions?
Is that in the budget, $200 for 8 people?
I think we'll be able to find it within water, wastewater, and DPW.
because he still has to take his, two more, courses, certifications.
Correct. So we'll find that money.
We put money aside.
Yeah, and then we have contingency as well. So, all in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Motion carries. So the final thing on the agenda involves money. Money's always good for the village. If I can find my letter. Okay. So as I have told you, the American Rescue Plan Act is the $1.9 trillion federal program to help cover COVID-related expenses. As a small village community, my mathematics that using the formula provided by the federal government was incorrect, and so instead of getting a lot of money, we get a nice little chunk of $30,542. So you will be pleased to know that I did submit it in its completeness, and it was accepted on time by July 9th. Half the money will come this summer, it's not determined when. Half the money will come next summer, as not determined when. But what we do know is that we can use it to go towards infrastructure, and I would like to see it go next year, right? So we'll hold on to what comes this year, we'll put it next year, and then we would have until, I believe, 2024 to use it, 2024, 2025 to use it. So I think that would make a good start for closing up the water system and seeing how we can, see if we can get a loan in the meantime for that. So that's a bit of good news. That's all of us, thank you. Okay, board roundtable. Anything interesting going on?
Almost report on tonight, Wednesday.
Yes, finance committee, 8 o'clock.
And then Roger's first meeting.
So, do you guys think that that's going well?
Yes.
I think it helps us connect a little better with the committees. Anything else? Rebecca, anything going on? Jim? Looking stellar as always. Yes. And Cindy, last, public comments? Hearing none, I will ask for motion to adjourn.
So sad.
Okay, great, all right, motion is adjourned. Thank you very much, and be in touch. Thanks for coming, Betsy, nice to see you. Thank you. Always great to see you, Shorty. I don't think that's the way you wear them now.
That's right.
If you were sniffling.
We're going to see probably,